everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Fast and the Curious. We're doing a shoot in the middle of the evening, and it's a different type of a vibe that we want to set with this type of a video. And the same vibe is being matched by my guest on today's episode. So I have with me Siddharth Raje. He is my colleague, he is my friend, and he is a creator, he's a visualizer, he's a narrator, and a storyteller. So with Siddharth, I want to just talk about anything and everything that you know about cars, specifically in general, because you're on the fast and the curious, and we want to talk about everything that is super cool, super fast, and super loud, as long as it doesn't break any limits of the law. So yeah, Sid, I think just give us a little bit of a quick intro if I haven't done much justice on what you do, and then you can just
I
tell
think
me.
that was a very generous introduction, so yeah, dude, if it comes down to everything I know about cars, I can sum it up in 3 words. Clutch, brake, accelerator.
Okay, so you do at least know the correct order, because a lot of people get confused with what comes where. The way in which I remember it simply is ABC: accelerator, brake, and clutch.
Ulta.
So I think you
But
just
it
did
makes
it.
sense for you because you read Ulta.
Yeah, I read from not like Romanian new scriptures in English, but Arabic goes the other way around. So for those of you who didn't get it, I think that is what he was telling you about. You just know how you operate a car. That is still a few levels inside as to how you actually operate the car. But zooming out a little bit, I want to know, you're into art, you're into the form of creating things from scratch, like, thinking about it. So if you had to make a car, what would be the ideal design, the design language you'd want to maintain for it? Just describe in the way that you feel your ideal car should be like.
Okay, interesting, because I think I have a pretty interesting answer for this. So, you know how you daydream when you're a kid, like when you're in school and like you're driving home from like somewhere after dinner and you're driving the car, you're in the back seat. You're daydreaming about some of the other shit. And some of the things you still daydream about, like as an adult, if you're zoned out. So that for me has not been a car, but a vehicle which can fly. Like a hovercraft, basically. So I don't know how to deal with traffic. I think about this a lot when I'm stuck in traffic. So it'd be fucking cool to have like, I don't know, imagine something like a Formula One car designed like a plane, like if you watch Star Wars and TIE fighters or some shit like that, dude, you go places. That would be fun. So that is my ideal vehicle. It's not a car, but it's like it opens from the top. You can get inside and then you just lie down maybe, and then you have all of the controls and shit. But then you can also have autopilot if you just want to chill and cruise. But yeah, dude, you can just like fly anywhere. That's fun.
Yeah, it like takes you from point A to point B in many different ways. Like it's not just going by road, but then you can take off at the whim of a button, I feel.
Exactly.
So is it kind of like, if I had to visualize it, would you say it comes somewhere close to the DMC DeLorean that is used in the Back to the Future?
No. I think it's more like the flying car from Harry Potter today.
Oh, so that car is like just the...
Yeah,
it's
but
a normal car.
It's closer to that. Yeah, it's a normal thing that can fly, a hovercraft.
Oh, so it only like basically does one more thing which a normal car would typically find it difficult to do.
Yeah, that's my ideal vehicle.
So yeah, it's literally a dream car. You're dreaming about having your car fly off, and it takes you to your dreamland is what
to
I'm
your
picturizing.
destination. Not even a dreamland, dude. You can fly. That's
can fly,
simple.
like, that's
it's simple. That's a concept. You can fly. It's more like, have you played any of the Arkham Knight games?
I think I've played Arkham Asylum, but I haven't completed.
You know when you're in the streets and you can like call your Batmobile to you? So like that, like I can just call the hovercraft to me whenever I want, sit in it, fly away.
It kind of will be like you control it telepathically in a way.
In a way, yes. That'd be fun. That'd be my ideal car.
Yeah, that'll absolutely be fun, man. Like I can only imagine.
What is your ideal car, Zoab?
For me, I think an ideal car would be something that, in terms of its looks and its aesthetics, it's like something really futuristic yet minimal. Somewhere how you would find a vehicle in not Cyberpunk 2077 that much, but then maybe a Blade Runner 2049, or not too futuristic, but still almost getting there. I think the closest example I can think of right now in our current reality would be the Hyundai Ioniq 5. If you've noticed that car, it has a very boxy design. It has a
Yeah.
very the lights are proper LED strips, not like a straight tube of the light beam, like, going from end to end, but it has like the visual in pixelated manner. It's represented visually that way.
Yeah.
So that kind of a vibe is something I really feel I associate with. So if I have to visually have my dream car, it'll be appearing something like that. But then in terms of performance, dude, it has to be right up there with the Paganis and the Bugattis and the Koenigseggs. So no compromise on performance. You can take a little bit of a hit when it comes to maybe the way it looks, because I don't think it'll look like a hypercar or a supercar as such. But then I think I'll be fine with that. You have to cut corners somewhere, and I think I'll do it through that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man, I think that's like my...
So you like a lot of like sharp edges.
Yeah, I do.
So like a retro futuristic speedster.
Absolutely,
basically.
man. You got it right. Like retro futuristic, like it has the blend of the 70s vapor waves and the
exactly.
the synth waves
The
on
neon
that kind of a
pink
vibe.
and the neon cyan.
Absolutely, and I think it reflects also very strongly in our podcast, in the logo and all of the other elements that we have used.
Definitely.
So that's the kind of a vibe that we wanna have for this particular channel. That's, I think, a lot about my dream car. But then, what do you think when it comes to EVs? Do you think that's the future? Do you think that's where society as a whole is headed towards adopting it as the new norm? Or do you still feel that combustion engines, petrol and diesel, still need to hold the place in the car market altogether?
If you want to know my personal opinion, I don't think so. Because oil companies just have too huge of a market to give it up that easily to the EV market.
You
They're
wouldn't
going to
want the car
try
to-
anything and everything to keep people on petrol and on diesel, on fuel basically.
On fuel, yeah, because from a commercial standpoint, it will kill them off. You were saying that oil companies wouldn't really give up their syndicate of sorts. Like it is like a syndicate wherein...
And there's going to be a lot of like senators and like people high up in the government who are not going to allow it, because obviously they're friends with the people who own these oil companies.
Yeah, but then don't you think that is what Elon Musk has done with being part of the US government right now with Trump?
Definitely. It's like he has Trump in a chokehold. I just had a post the other day that people are boycotting Tesla, and Trump put out like a message on X ki you guys shouldn't be boycotting Tesla. In fact, I'm gonna buy a Tesla the very next day.
Dude, that's like propaganda being propagated to the
literally.
people who usually propagate.
Exactly.
That's meta to another level. Crazy layering of how the modern world works, man.
Elon Musk didn't even make Tesla on his own. He bought the company.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea about this.
And he harassed the previous owners a lot to make them let him keep the name, basically.
That is something new.
Yeah.
I always used to think that Tesla is Elon's brainchild.
It is not. He just bought the company. He's basically the face of Tesla, though.
So he's like the Steve Jobs of Tesla. Like, you know how
exactly.
Steve Jobs, even though he was like a creator, like he was always represented as the guy who markets the brand. And like, so I think that kind of analogy applies to Musk with Tesla too.
Maybe in a way, but Steve Jobs really created Apple. I'd say like a lot of the older Apple ethos comes directly from Steve Jobs. If there wasn't Steve Jobs at the top of Apple or like the one controlling the company, basically, we wouldn't have the iPhone. We'd be stuck with other products that look like Windows. He was the first person to actually like think about ergonomics and like user experience in his product. Like he focused on letting people have delightful experiences first and then getting the work done second. Like getting your work done like using the computer shouldn't be like a boring task. Like it should be intuitive. That was his whole ethos, right?
He put form over function, I feel, in a way.
Not really. He made the function serve the form.
It made the function better,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
exactly. By caring about the user.
Because they are the ones who are going to actually use the product at the end of the
Yes.
day. If it doesn't work well for them, it won't sell.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy, man. Like, I think that's how strong the influence of Steve Jobs has been in not just like, product design as such, but I think all aspects of design that we see in the world today. Like,
Yeah.
and it extends to cars too. Apple has always been trying to come up with the Apple car. And God knows, whenever they do, it's going to be something that we have never even imagined before. So it can be introducing driverless is still like, when driverless cars came out first, we were like mind blown.
Yeah.
But you never know what the next big moment will be. Okay, so cool, man. Sid, I think it was great to have you on the episode. It was a kind of a
great,
different
great.
conversation,
Yeah,
but then
definitely.
where can people find you online? Do you have an Insta? Do you have social media? Where can
I'm
people
off
find
of
you?
Instagram,
Oh man,
but
you're
you
taking
can
a
find me on
detox.
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Okay, professional connects, I feel. Cool, man. So thanks. See you guys on the next episode. Stay fast and stay curious, and catch you in the next one. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.